This is a new thing. Little weird. I've been building to this for probably about 16, 17 years.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alex Loyd, and I wanted to share with you today what literally saved my life in my mid to late 20s. I was working hard, I was reading books on how to live a better life, I was applying those things to my life, and everything in my life was sliding in the ditch. My marriage, my health, my other relationships, my energy level. I was about to get fired. I was about to go bankrupt, etc. And what I discovered is that there's two laws you can be living by in your life. And I was living by the wrong one. And what I've also discovered is that about 9 out of 10 people are living by the wrong one. And I didn't know it. I thought I was living by the right one, but I wasn't. And so what I'm going to share with you today is the two laws you can be living by, and how one will take you to almost guaranteed failure, and how the other will take you to almost guaranteed success, health, happiness, great relationships, loving your life, etc. And if you are doing the wrong one, we want to help you shift to living the law that leads to success, health, happiness, etc. So this is a little bit longer teaching because I don't know how to make it any shorter, but to me, this is the best thing I've ever discovered. It's probably the best thing I've ever taught. I've never seen a single person who took the information I'm about to share with you, applied it to their lives, that did not tell me later that this changed their life significantly for the better. And very often what they would tell me was very dramatic, like, I will never go back to living that other way. This has completely 180'd my life in a pretty short period of time, which it did for me. And I'm going to tell you my story of how I discovered this, what it is, how it's different from the way most people are living, and how to start living the way that will take you to happiness, health, etc. This has nothing to do with codes. A lot of my stuff is code stuff. My first book was called The Healing Code. This really has nothing to do with that, but you can use the codes to help you do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share just a couple of things with you, and then I'm going to go to when I did this teaching about 3 years ago. And the reason I'm doing that is I've done this teaching hundreds of times. I'm not sure I can do it as well as I did it in this clip 3 years ago. This is like my favorite clip of when I've taught this. So sorry it's a different background and stuff once we get to that, but that's why I'm doing it. And I wanted to give you the best and the most complete. And I believe that is. But before we get to that, let me address just a couple of things. I call this love A versus love B. And most people live love A, I would say 90%, and think they're living love B. I also call love A fake love, and I'll explain that as we go, and love B real love. The reason love B is second instead of first is because most people do love A. But from the Bible, I'm a follower of Jesus, and this is kind of my roadmap. 2 Corinthians 12, my grace is sufficient for you. When you sin, God says in Romans 7, it's not you that sinned. And who are you really? You are the righteousness of Christ if you're a follower of Jesus in right standing with God. And if you're not, you can become that and contact me. I would love to talk to you about that, but that's not what I'm here for right now. Okay. Important question. Do you slip or do you plan? when you sin or do something wrong or do something that's not what you wanted to do for a good, healthy life, do you slip or do you plan and run to it? That's crucial. That determines blessings versus cursings, which we've talked about, I think, in the last teaching that I did. It is a rigged game. So if when you sin or do the bad stuff you want to do, you're planning to do it, that's totally different from if you're trying not to do it and just slip and stumble and do it. So which camp are you in there? All right, I think that's really important. And then the last thing before I show you the love A versus love B teaching is this is from 1 Corinthians 13, and these are the 15 love factors from 1 Corinthians 13. I'm not going to stay here a long time, but you can pause it if you want to read all these. But this is part of what convinced me in my 20s that I was living fake love. All right, there were several of these that really got me. I was impatient. I was angry a lot. I was kind. If I wasn't angry, I was kind. What else? Love is not self-seeking. I was thinking about myself all the time. Love's not easily angered. I was. This one really got me. Love keeps no record of wrongs. I had a mental list, later a physical list of all the stuff that other people did against me where I thought it was their fault. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes. This one got me. Love suffers all things. And I thought if I was suffering, something was wrong. No, if I'm suffering, something's right. Love suffers all things for the sake of love, for the sake of that other person that's involved in this. All right? I'm suffering, something's wrong, and it's your fault. And then the last one, love never fails, and I was failing at everything in my life. And there's a 16th, it's really the first because it encompasses basically everything. And it's from this same passage, and it says that if you give your very body to be burned for the sake of others and what's good and for the furtherment of the world and because that will achieve something that'll help the whole world or whatever. You know, the greatest self-sacrificial thing you could ever do. What it says is, if the reason you do it is not love, it will profit you nothing and may even make things worse. So all behavior, 100% of all behavior and action, if you're doing it in love, there's a blessing and a profit. If you're not doing it in love, if you're doing it for selfishness, pain, pleasure, to get something, whatever, it's not going to profit you, and it may even create a loss for you. So you need to start thinking about why you're doing what you're doing. All right? So now I'm going to step away, and this is the teaching about to come up now for love A versus love B. Which law are you living under? Because which law you're living under determines your thoughts, emotions, feelings, beliefs, actions, behavior, and the results in your life. Literally everything. So don't miss this. Which law are you under? And then if you're living under the wrong one, don't let a day go by. Shift to the right one. I'm going to tell you how and give you the tools to do it. I'll be with you.